So that's what I set out to achieve, having a definite difference between the sidings and the main line. And then I've blended it in places as if where the freight is leaving. So this is an exchange siding, so this first siding would have been shared in either direction. So once they picked up the full loads here, they come in this direction, cross this point work, back out onto the main. Hence why I've weathered that side of the line just a little bit and not this, like this side. And the traffic that was coming the other way, again, I'd use this exchange siding, cross this point work. They wouldn't go up here, they'd come onto this line. So that's why I've left this line just dusting and fading away. So I'm just going to add a little bit more Scenic in now, just to brighten it up. I feel like the overspray from the white is just a bit too much. So concentrate a bit here and perhaps some stipple bits. And I'm going to use the precision applicator and probably 4mm dead in this area. I'm going to see how that comes out. So if you haven't seen my review on the precision applicator, I'll leave it in the comments. It's this little box with the tiny hopper. I've clipped onto the rail, and that is, just need to clarify, that's not for a ground, it's just keep this positive charge within a reasonable distance of the end of the hopper, and it'll charge it good enough to make the fibres stand up then. As you can see, that's just breaking up the white a little bit. Might go with a similar mix a little bit more along here. So I'm going to go a bit more, maybe some spring in here just to lighten it up a little bit in between the rails. I'm quite pleased with that. So that's a bit of 2mm spring I've just put in between the sidings, which is a little bit more what I was looking for. It's just taking the white dust down a little bit. Perhaps do a little bit more around the halt next, I think. And then next, I'm going to start moving up the board a little bit with the Scenics. have a look at my goods shed sort of platform that I'm planning on putting in this area here. So I've got this goods building that needs a bit of a revamp and a paint job, and I'm going to be having to go with the Metcalf stone platform kit. I think I'm going to mount it on some timber, and then we'll have a go at weathering it and see if we can make something decent of it. So my plan with these Metcalf kits is to, rather than build all the inner strengthening stuff, I'm just going to use some old OSB, and I'm going to put the platform on top, obviously do the overhang, and then put the retaining wall underneath so it's a solid structure. Hopefully it shouldn't warp or anything then. So that's going to be my plan. So first of all, I'm going to get an old cereal box, cut out my template for in this area, and cut that onto the OSB, and then start constructing it onto actually pieces of timber. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this back piece yet. There's a bit of a bank here. I think I might have to cut this out and possibly have the platform coming all the way back to this dry stone wall, and then I imagine having this quite overgrown back here, and then just a downward ramp here heading towards the quarry. Just need to make sure I've got enough room for this shed, and then perhaps I might have a loading crane or something going on here as well. Haven't decided yet. As always with Peaks 47, I tend to make it up as I go along, let it evolve and work with what I've got in front of me. So I just also wanted to mention, as you can see, I'm putting some copy decks back down on this at the minute, and the reason for that is I'm putting some 4mm cork down on it, which is the same as the bed that's under the ballast. But I didn't take into account that obviously that was making the track 4mm higher. So when I put the platform down to eye it up, I thought, hang on a minute, that's looking a little bit low, I wonder why that is. And then obviously it dawned on me, my platforms are going to be 4mm too short, which is obviously a foot. So I've had to now put some cork on the bottom of my platform to bring this up 4mm as well, to get it to the right scale. So as you can see here now, using a coach as a guide, if I hadn't have put this on the 4mm cork to bring it up to the track level, I would have been a foot too short. So as you can see, that's sitting just at the right height. And it's also good practice to be using a coach if you're doing a curved platform, just to make sure you've got the tolerances. A coach is never going to be coming down here, but this is helping me adjust it right, so I've got the right distance away from the rails. So I'm not sure how to paint this stuff, so I've come up with an idea on this platform. It might not work and I might just sack it off completely, but I'm going to actually fill over it with this sculpture plast by Scenics. There we go. And hopefully that will give me a little bit of a texture, and I can put some pits in it and hopefully give it a decent paint job then, where I can get some different variations of colours and some pitting and whatnot. So I'm just using a normal spreader card that you'd use for body filling, and I'm going to try and get it on as smooth as I can, and if it's a little bit rough I can just sand it down the desired finish then. This is where I'm up to so far. So I've ended up using the filler over the platform, and then I've just painted it grey just to give me an idea. Obviously that wouldn't be its final weathering paint job, but if I'm honest, I don't like it. So I'm going to do some modifying. I don't like the idea of the shed on the platform. Haven't really got enough room for it, and I feel like it's just too high up into the landscape for what I'm looking for. So my plan is I'm now going to probably have the shed on the ground. I'm going to cut this platform right down to enable to bring the platform back. Perhaps the shed will be somewhere here, and I'm just going to have a loading crane at the top of the platform and a ramp going down to the shed. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. So I'm much happier with that now, with the size of it. And my plan is just to build this kit, have this crane on here, loading goods off. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this shed yet. I need to cut this back piece off. I'm not sure the position of it yet, but that will be some sort of storage shed for the quarry.